They were already strapping her to the stretcher when I stepped out of the car. The flashing lights cut the rain into shards of red and blue. Her hand found mine, weak, trembling. Her eyes held something worse than fear. "Dad, don't tell my husband, please." The words lodged in my chest like glass. I wanted to ask why, but the ambulance doors were already closing. I climbed in beside her, the stench of antiseptic mixing with the metallic tang of blood. She kept her eyes on the ceiling. I kept mine on her face, trying to read what she wasn't saying. When we arrived, he was there, standing in the sterile glow of the hospital corridor, perfectly still. The instant I saw his face, my stomach turned. Not because he looked guilty, but because he didn't. He rushed forward like any concerned husband would, too quickly, too eagerly. The nurse guided me away, muttering about paperwork. But I watched the way his hand hovered over her, then rested lightly on her arm. She flinched, almost imperceptibly, but I saw it. When he looked up at me, his eyes were dry, too dry. That night I replayed her whisper in the ambulance over and over. Why hide something from him? Why not from the police or the doctors? Why only him? I started remembering things. Missed calls she never explained. The time I dropped by unannounced and found him in the driveway, startled, like a man caught somewhere he shouldn't be. The shape of the truth was forming. But it was still in shadow. I didn't ask questions. Not to her, not yet. Instead, I began collecting pieces. Phone records, obtained through an old friend who owed me a favor. Bank statements, quietly copied when he left his jacket at my house after a family dinner. His work schedule, cross-referenced against her hospital appointments. Every page felt heavier than the last. The dates never lined up. Money missing from joint accounts, and once, 3 weeks ago, an unexplained hotel charge. I kept my expression calm whenever we crossed paths. I shook his hand, I smiled, I asked about work, about the weather, but inside I was building something. Not rage, not grief, a structure, brick by brick. The truth came in a manila envelope. DNA results. It was my grandson's birthday that broke me. I'd sent a hair sample along with the paperwork, something I'd told myself was paranoia. It wasn't. The report was blunt, clinical. Probability of paternity, 0. My hands didn't shake. They should have. That evening I went to the hospital. She was awake but pale. He was there, sitting beside her bed, fingers loosely laced with hers. I stepped forward, handed him the envelope, said nothing. He opened it, read it, and for the first time his face cracked. His lips parted, but no words came. Her eyes darted between us, panic flooding in. I turned and left the room before either could speak. I waited 2 days. Let them think the silence meant surrender. Then I called him. Asked him to meet me at the house, her childhood home. He arrived looking cautious, defensive. I led him inside. On the dining table was a neat stack. The phone records, the bank statements, the hotel bill, the DNA test on top. I didn't accuse, didn't raise my voice. I simply said, "You've got 10 minutes to get your things out of her life. If you're still here after that, I'll make sure everyone knows who you are and what you've done, including her." He stared at me, searching for any sign of bluff. He didn't find one. When he finally spoke, it was barely a whisper. "You don't—" "I understand perfectly," I cut in, and walked out, leaving him alone with the evidence. 3 days later, he was gone. No forwarding address, no note. She didn't call me right away. When she did, her voice was hollow. "He left," was all she said. I told her to rest, to focus on recovery. I didn't mention the file I'd kept, the original evidence locked away. Some truths don't need to be spoken to stay alive. They just need to be remembered. In the quiet of my study that night, I thought about the way he looked at the hospital, the first crack in his mask, the moment he knew I'd taken something from him that he could never reclaim. It wasn't joy I felt, not even satisfaction, just stillness. And in that stillness, I understood. Power doesn't come from striking back. It comes from knowing you could, and choosing, instead, to walk away with the last word, without saying a thing.